This is Disney 'em up Fun Time Adventures. And this is Organization 13 and the really bad Final Fantasy Day. And they don't overlap almost at all.
No, it features some of the same characters, but...
And so, like, look, if you want to have a Disney video game and have it be Disney's Fun Time Adventures for kids, fine. I'm sure your kids probably would have had an okay time with that.
No.
Because then all this weird stuff starts happening and they're just confused as hell.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was going to say later, is I would play sections of this with my kids, right? And we would go through a level and it would be fine. Some of the movements strange and the combat's questionable and the systems and shit that we haven't gotten to yet are its own issue. And then story shit would happen and I would be lost and they would look at me like, Dad, what the fuck is this? I have no idea what the fuck is happening here. Who are any of these people they just mentioned for the first and possibly final time? I don't know if they're ever going to come back up.
Some of them don't.
Some of them fucking don't. Like, this game, it constantly feels like as you're going through it, it's just fucking red herrings. Like, I don't know what the fuck is important and what's not. And they give you all this shit like it's some fucking big reveal, and it doesn't mean anything.
That, and like... the names of these characters is so weird and often close together that it's a nightmare. Again, at one point during all this, the three amigos from Twilight Town managed to save Ansem the Wise from, I think, Xemnas? One of the bad Xehanorts.
Yeah, like a big fucking beefy scary ass dude.
Yeah, the big Xehanort.
The beef.
Yeah. The beef Xehanort is taking Ansem the Wise to the Haunted Mansion and is like, dude, you're gonna do this thing or I'm going to kill you. And Ansem's like, well, I mean, I don't want to, but sure. This is after Beef Xehanort throws Aqua into a pool of darkness. More on that later. And Ansem's like, I guess I'll go with you now. Which, by the way, Ansem's condition for going with Beef Xehanort was to leave Aqua alone. And then he just shoots her in the chest and throws her in a pool of darkness. So I don't know why he's still going along with this plan. Anyway, the three amigos save him by running. And like, that's it. They run.
Okay, yeah, they have this plan to get the old guy, and like, they don't really know who either of these
They don't know what's going on, but they're like, that old guy looks sad.
Well,
we
yeah.
should save him.
Well,
they learned straight from Sora's playbook.
This is like, well, like, they see this dude, like, this guy clearly doesn't want to be here. Fucking Beef Xehanort looks like a bad guy. We should help him. And yeah, they're like, okay, you distract him, we're gonna get him to run this way. And while that's going on, some fucking nobodies show up, and then Beef Zort is like, oh, it's a fucking coup then, huh?
Yeah. So you run into the sewers, and Ansem's like, oh, thanks for saving... Sorry, Ansem the Wise. I have to specify that, because there's an Ansem the bad guy. I hate everything. Is like, thanks for saving me. And then more squiggly nobodies show up, and this is where... Traitor dude, who was a bad guy, then got converted to a good guy, and then switched back to being a bad guy, but was actually a traitor to the bad guys to save Ansem, because he's the one who does all the research on replicants.
Yes.
He's the replicant expert, and he's like, Ansem, I've been looking for you. We got research to finish. And you're like, what is happening? Also, Beef Xehanort can teleport. Running won't save you.
Okay, but if he doesn't know where to teleport to, then everything's fine. Why don't you get that?
Oh,
no, it's at this
watches
point
them run away.
in the fucking sewers where he's like, all right, let's do it. And then one of the three amigos is like, why would you help this random dude? And he's like, well, I've done a lot of bad stuff to kids. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yes. This is where he's like, well, I've done some horrible things that I need to atone for. And you're like, what?
No, he fucking specifies 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah, he's just like accidentally killed 2 children or something, or lost them forever. It's fine.
Yeah, isn't that one of them that's in Sora? Like,
No.
Legitimately?
No.
No, fuck you, no.
It's
I'm
a
pretty
different
sure it
one.
fucking is.
No.
There's no way you could know with the 700 people that are in fucking Sora.
It's that other bitch you fight later.
No.
Yes.
What?
Well, I don't even remember her name.
Yeah, which bitch?
She's with the organization. You fight her in the like labyrinth boss rush. She's on not antenna. She has her hood like the whole time.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Because it's the chick that Axel's been looking for.
Yeah, when fucking the Dark Three Amigos show up.
Yep.
The fucking glam metal band that is those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
J-Pop Supreme.
It's that one.
Yeah, okay.
Cool, great. Everything's sorted, I guess. Oh, God. So after you do that, again, so this is like, these are all just intercut random things. You know, at some point then, after you save, and, well, you don't do any of this. After the three Chamigos save Ansem the Wise, and super double secret trader is there and is like, we've got replicant business. He then goes to Guitar Face, and Guitar Face is like, I'm trash. Why do you want my help? And he's like, because you're trash. And he's like, that's harsh. And he's like, yeah, I know. So will you do it? And he's like, I guess.
Okay. He needs him to go do a thing, but nobody can know about it. And he's like, but I suck. Why would you send me? And he's like, because no one's going to suspect you of anything. You fucking suck. And the dude's like, yeah.
Besides, we're not friends. Why would you ask me? Because we're not friends. No one would ever think of you. He's like, well, you got a point there. I guess the fact that I'm garbage and we're not friends makes me the perfect candidate. Which, he's the perfect candidate to take a replicant body and Ansem the Wise to the guy who is decoding Ansem the Wise's secret code hidden in Sora. Which I'm sure the bad guys didn't, think about. Maybe we should keep tabs on this guy who's like trying to decode Ansem the Wise's code inside Sora.
So, what I didn't understand is they make it a point a few times to say, like, they only have so many replicants.
Yeah.
How did they just jack one and nobody noticed?
I don't know. Like, that's what you'd think is like, how did this plan even work when the bad guys, presumably weren't horribly incompetent? Nope, they're horribly incompetent. They literally can't be bothered to count to 2.
Okay, like, yes, right. But also no. Okay. Yes, let's continue. We can talk about the master plan that actually fucking works, so it isn't like the plan's fine, right? Like, the old Spaniard has his shit together.
Yeah.
It's all fucking the underlings who don't know what the shit they're doing. And not even like the copies of him, because they seem somewhat competent. Like fucking Beefzort at least got Old Boy until he was distracted by children and useless nobodies. Whatever. Also, he runs right there. Like, why didn't he just slay everything? Can't he go off like a goddamn nuke?
He can. He does later.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The man is annihilation incarnate.
What the shit? I better not ruin this old mansion, because there's no way we can travel back in time and get the data fucking whenever.
It's not like one of our people is time-traveling young Xehanort. God, it'd be terrible to have one of those on our team. So, you now have reached the point where you rescue Aqua.
Fuck.
Okay,
Aqua.
So after you've done all these worlds, you get word that Riku and Mickey, and as soon as Chip on the stupid phone says Mickey, bam, Goofy and Donald block your view and are like, the king?
Yep.
Every single time.
Dicks out. Yep.
Mickey and Riku are trapped in the world of darkness. Well, not necessarily trapped, but they entered the world of darkness with new Keyblades. Since the last time they went, their Keyblades broke because they got beat to shit. They entered the world of darkness with new Keyblades, but no one has heard from them since.
Then how did they leave?
So, that is what you're informed. And you're like, great, we need to go save them. Well, you can't. Only people who have passed the Mark of Mastery exam can open a doorway to the world of darkness.
They make it a point of saying, Yen Sid specifically tells Sora, you need to have the power of awakening. That's it.
Yeah.
My dude, that's all you need.
But there's another way in. Mickey has a dark Keyblade that uses dark energy that can open a doorway to the world of darkness.
Which he has because he's the fucking king.
Because he's the king.
He's the king! The motherfucking king! Ba, 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 ba.
You go and get this Keyblade. I believe it's on Destiny Island.
Yeah, it's just on the beach.
It's on the beach of Hamfist Island.
Fucking hanging out.
Yep, because everything comes back to there.
Well, Hamfist.
Yeah.
I mean, Destiny.
Sora picks it up, bling, creates a doorway, runs to the door, and Donald and Goofy are like, we're going with you. And Sora's like, no. And they're like, what? He's like, literally only Keyblades work in there. Do either of you wield Keyblades? And they're like, well, no, but the king's in there. And he's like, and you'll die. They're like, fine, we'll guard the door. Where they deserve to be. Outside, looking in.
No, I have thoughts on that.
So Sora runs through the door, and then it cuts and gives us this other perspective of Mickey and Riku in the world of darkness. Riku has his new Keyblade, which I love this because of how stupid it is. His new Keyblade is, in fact, a dimple key.
What? You lost me.
A dimple key? It's a straight piece of metal with indents in it.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone else has these, like, keys, and his is this, like, I don't know, it's just like a stick of metal with weird dimples in it that's like, okay, trying to update, I guess.
I don't know, man.
I really wish it was just like a string of characters with some, like, hyphens in the middle.
Oh, yes.
It's just like an activation key. You're like, this has gotten real meta. But alas.
If you were to type that in, it would give you a copy of the game.
Yeah, right? So they are in the world of darkness, and they're, like, fighting for their lives, and then Dark Aqua shows up, and she's like, you left me here to die. I feel nothing but pain now. Beep boop.
Well, yeah, because she'd been trapped there for like 10 fucking years, and she's like, it's your fault I'm here, and Mickey's like, yeah, kinda.
Are bad.
We came to get you. It's been 10 fucking years.
Which is weird because it, like, hasn't. Time travels differently in the world of darkness.
I fucking guess.
Yeah. It's been 10 years for her, not people on the outside. It's great.
Which they never bother saying to her at any point, which I didn't understand. Because, yeah, like, it had been a long time, but it hadn't been 10 years.
No, they basically established that it has not been that long.
Yeah, and they don't say that, and I don't know why they wouldn't have said it then. Like, it hasn't been that long for us. I'm sorry, let's get out of here. Or, like, anything. Yeah. Except for fucking Mickey's like, I'm sorry.
Just like that. So she starts fighting.
Because his voice is super wrong, too.
Yeah. Mickey is trapped in a globe of evil. And so she starts fighting Riku. And she's going to overpower him. And she's like, yeah, what up? I'm Dark Aqua. And he's like, psh, I need Sora right now. You know what I mean. Just like that.
Yes.
I mean, really, the amount of weird size in this game is off the charts.
Well, then Sora shows up, and him and Riku have a magical girl moment where their powers combine.
Straight up, their powers combine. They like
fucking straight up.
Their Keyblades. They stand next to each other. They raise one arm with Keyblade in it, so they connect to make like one mega key. And they point that mega key, and it like does this big swirly thing behind them, and it shoots a massive laser beam. And you're like, what in God's name was that?
They're Power Rangers.
How? Why didn't you keep these two together all the time? They should be on every quest together, since they have the power of fusion. I don't understand.
This is a thing they could apparently do whenever. Yeah, what the shit?
Like, they're just like, yep, this is a thing that they both instinctively knew to do. What? So when you use your super laser, it blows away a lot of the darkness. And then Sora's like, let me fight Aqua now. You fight Aqua. And then once you beat her up enough, she's like, right, I should be good again. That's how that goes.
Yeah, you just had to beat the devil out of the woman, I guess.
Yep. You just beat her enough. And she'll be good.
Sora beats the woman till she listens.
So that happens. But then Aqua's with the good guys now. So this is where she is like, this isn't where, like, this is all scattered throughout. At some point, then she's like, well, we need Ventus, so I'm gonna go get him.
And we need to go get Veritas, whatever his fucking name is.
Yeah, and so you're like, wait, okay, we'll go with you because his heart's inside me. And she's like, that's convenient.
Who's Aqua?
Aqua is one of the 3 disciples of Ericus.
Who the fuck is Ericus? Fucking, it's just goddamn questions leading to fucking questions with this shit. I'm sorry, please continue.
So Aqua is...
Hold on, I fucking played this whole fucking time, and I'm trying really hard not to like look it up because I did once, right? I looked up one fucking character, and it was just a fucking 3 pages of link after link after link to other shit. What the fuck is happening?
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Aqua goes to this weird, like, place that's all just, like, fucked up. It's a castle that's, like, all wrong.
Yeah, it's a weird Jumble castle.
Yeah. And she points her key at it and goes, Bazamba! And it unlocks and turns to light and it, like, reassembles itself. And you're like, wow, that's, a whole thing. You walk inside and, Ventus is there on the throne, just passed out.
Sleeping.
Yeah. Big old nap time. Decade nap. And it's this point where Vanitas shows up, and Vanitas is like, I am evil. Seriously, that's his character. He's just like, always calls Ventus brother. He's evil, and he wears a sick helmet.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm gonna be evil now. And Aqua's like, nah, I'm gonna beat you up.
He does look like Demon Biker from space.
He does. And she's like, you 3, stay back. you always see me at my weakest. Now I'm going to show you at my strongest. So she creates a barrier around her and Vanitas, and you fight as Aqua. I found her fairly annoying to use.
This was because you do the same thing with Riku earlier too, where
Yep.
you get used to using a character and then forces you to use another one where the moveset's different. Mm-hmm. And it's fucking terrible.
Yeah, it's awful. Thanks, guys. I love being forced into a character who, by the way, this is the one and only time you use Aqua in the entire game.
Yeah.
Why?
Because she's there other times later for space filler.
So, you beat, I can't, air quotes, beat Vanitas, and then cutscene, you didn't beat Vanitas. It's garbage. And then it's funny because he turns and looks at Ventus and is like, I'm gonna just shoot a laser at him. And Aqua jumps in the way, which is funny because, like, there's a barrier there. And then, so she gets hit with the laser and is, like, basically knocked out and is gonna get killed. Which then she doesn't drop the barrier still. So you're just on the outside of the barrier. And he's like, I'm a killer. And you're like, man, it really would have sucked to have 3 extra people in this fight, you dumb woman. Like, let me show you at my strongest. It's 4-on-1. Let's just beat this dude.
Yeah.
Nope, she's gonna solo it, and then she ends up getting beat, and you're like, yeah, it's really not a great way to show me at your strongest.
She was just trying to farm XP.
Yeah. So then Sora remembers the power of waking, just literally by
right.
believing in himself.
Yeah. That's fucking, oh my god.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. He's like, Ventus, we really need you. And Ventus is like, yeah, I know. So why don't you wake me up? And Sora's like, wait, what? How do I do that? I don't have the power of waking. And Ventus is like, you literally have always had the power of waking, you dumbass.
You have never not had it. What are you on about?
Like, literally just use it. And Sora's like, wait, what? Uses it. And is like, Ventus just like wakes up and he's like, huh.
Wow. I guess it was in me the whole time.
The whole time. So then Ventus like smashes through the barrier and briefly beats up Vanitas, and before Vanitas is like, well, portal time.
Does he just like fucking put him in his place?
Yeah.
Like he's just not having any of that dumb shit.
But as is one to do with organization members, they're like, losing? Portal time.
But like, isn't that also whatever V-name kid you just said's like entire character? Because like every time he shows up to fight somebody, the fight's over. Like he just wins.
Kinda.
Why the fuck don't you play as him?
So then, Vanitas and Aqua are there, and they're like, great, and Vanitas looks at you and is like, what the fuck? Because, and this is revealed later, Ventus is Sora. Like, exactly. Yeah. Which, by the way, Vanitas is Sora, Ventus is Roxas. They are identical. Both of them. Both sets. Because they're both, like, mirrors of each other.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah, so he looks at him funny, he's like, oh, Sora, I've heard about you.
Yeah. Because, yeah, that's... Vanitas is the bad Ventus, so he looks like Sora. And Roxas is the bad Sora, so he looks like Ventus. But then Roxas learns to not be bad and becomes good.
Yeah, because everyone's always the same person the whole time. Or fucking whatever. Please move on. I'm getting a fucking headache trying to work that shit out.
You should, because it should kill you.
This is fucking stupid.
Yeah, so at this point you've gathered...
Why wouldn't it be 1-to-1? What the fuck?
Thank you. Moving on. Letting that simmer. Nice and...
Sit there, it's getting fucking worse, man. Oh, yeah, anyways, please.
So you go back to Yensid, and Yensid is great. We've gathered the Keyblade Masters.
Fucking Yensid.
We've got Ventus, we've got Aqua, we've got Lee, and Lee is like, oh, I don't think Ventus will remember me. And Ventus is like, Lee, what the fuck's wrong with you? Why are you even here? And Lee's like, you remember me? Ventus is like, so you became a Keyblade Master like me, huh? Good talk.
Yeah, and then everyone has a good laugh about how everyone in the room's a Keyblade Master except for Sora.
Yeah. Even though he's like one of your 7 defenders of light.
It's just kind of a dick move.
Because it's Ventus, Aqua, Mickey, Riku, Lee, Kairi, and you need 7.
Donald.
So Sora. Because Donald and Goofy don't count. And they expressly say that.
They do.
To their faces. When they're like, we have our 7 champions of light. Oh, and you 2.
Also Donald and Goofy. Okay, but they do have roles in the kingdom where Goofy is the captain of the guard.
Yes.
And Donald is something.
The court magician.
What's the point of that when, Yensid and Merlin are a thing? But hey, whatever.
Right? You're the court's magician. Does that mean he's the best magician? He's at very best 3rd.
He is the court's magician. Yes.
Yep. got there. So, now that you've gathered the 7 Guardians of Light, you can head to the Keyblade Graveyard.
Fucking poor Donald only got the job because nihilism. Wait, it's not nihilism. What's the word I'm thinking? Whatever.
It's fine.
It's getting late, man.
Yeah, because
So
we've
much
been
Kingdom
talking
Hearts.
forever.
Jesus Christ.
And this is the best part. I'm going to edit it down as much as I can, but you people don't realize this is going to be like 17 hours of raw footage.
Seriously. Because we still got so much fucking more to talk about.
Okay, so you're going to the Keyblade Graveyard. Keyblade Graveyard is the former site of a ton of battles because the battles between light and dark has happened, oh god, Xehanort says it, 6 times before?
Yes. No.
How many times has it happened?
Like 3. Like, it hasn't been that many.
Yeah, but it's happened before.
Yeah.
And it always happens at the Keyblade Graveyard.
Yep.
Light versus dark, the forging of the Keyblade, I hate that so much, always happens at the Keyblade Graveyard, and you need 13 dark and 7 light to forge it.
Which makes you wonder,
Why you would show up with 7 light?
yeah, why do you show up underprepared for that? But also, why is there so many Keyblades? Because it hasn't happened that many times, and there are millions of Keyblades around.
Oh yeah, there are. But like, why don't you just show up with like 30 people?
Or-
we need 7 lights. Why do you have so many? Cause we roll deep, Xehanort.
Why 30? Why not like a literal fucking army?
Yeah.
You can just train people to use the Keyblade. They
It
proved
really
it.
doesn't seem that hard. Like, they keep saying, you gotta be a Keyblade master, but the standards seem incredibly low for this.
Yeah.
Kairi is a Keyblade master. I can't tell you anything about this woman. She longs for Sora.
Well, she's not a woman. She's Lolly-chan.
This girl, because she is a girl,
She is a girl.
and she longs for Sora, and she's about as deep as a puddle.
Yep. And still has more going on than Sora, excluding the 700 people that reside inside of him because reasons.
Yeah. I mean, she did at one point reside inside of him.
Of course she did.
That
And
wa-
she's got people in her.
That was the first game. Yes. Hence, he is the rushing nesting doll of hearts.
Yeah. But so is she.
Yeah. She probably learned that from Sora when she was inside of him.
Probably, yeah. She fucking grabbed a few on her way out.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I mean, the person residing inside of her is a copy of her using Sora's memories. Anyway.
What?
Yeah, Namine?
No. And like, because they're dropping this, right? And I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Then it flashes like some little fucking blonde girl, and then like somebody sees her as a fucking little girl, and Aqua's like, oh, that was you. I think it was Aqua anyway. And then somebody fucking saved her at some time, or maybe it was Kairi talking to fucking somebody else. I honest to God don't know. And this entire last fucking 4-hour section is just like shit's happening, and I don't know half of these goddamn characters as they're talking about dumb shit, and then other dumb shit's happening, and it just never fucking stops. And then suddenly there's a goddamn army of fucking Heartless, and everybody fucking dies except they don't, and then a goddamn wizard shows up. Jason, please take us through it.
Yeah, so you get to the Keyblade Graveyard, and you run through, like, the first opening tunnel because they need, like, default area for you to run through a tunnel.
Yeah.
With your, save point and everything. They can't just, like, drop you in. So then you get to the other side, and there's the last Keyblade Master you've been searching for this whole time, Terra. Terra is one of the last members of the Disciples of Ericus. The 3 Disciples of Ericus are Ventus, Aqua, and Terra. So Ventus and Aqua are like, Terra! And Ventus is like, runs to him and is like, Terra, we found you! And Aqua's like, hold up, you ain't Terra. And he's like, nope, I'ma kill you all! Bibbidi-bobbidi!
Yeah.
And he summons a trillion, billion, zillion Heartless. And I keep increasing numbers, except that number is basically accurate.
Kinda, yeah. Like a literal ocean of Heartless start to descend upon you.
You fight them for a little while. Like, there's a fighting section where it's just like a sea of Heartless until it eventually starts the, like, animation, the, like, scripted part where you lose.
So, no. Because that happens when you first get there.
Is it?
Yeah. And then you beat them through the power of roller coaster.
Yeah, the roller coaster that you get like twice, and it's an auto win.
And when that happens, fucking
Whatever. So
Aqua stops old boy from talking to new guy. New guy whips out a Keyblade and just starts mowing people down. And then Donald is like, fuck this shit, and casts some goddamn ultimate spell at him.
So Terra is bad now, and he starts trying to kill everyone. Donald is like, I'm going to stop him, and casts Zeta Flare, which kills Donald.
Oh, is that what happens?
Yes, it takes his life force to cast.
God, that's so fucking sick.
That's why Goofy yells no when he does it.
I wondered why. I was like, because like, he just kind of like drops, like, you just fucking pass out.
Nope,
like,
it
that's
kills
meaningless here. It's fucking whatever.
Yep.
Oh no, like, it consumes his soul. That's fucking metal.
Yeah, that's kind of great. And I made the comment when I was playing it. I was like, man, I wish he knew that spell earlier so I could make him cast it.
That's what I was thinking. Like, when you watch what it does, like, if this is what one-time use and I never got Donald again, it would totally be worth it. Can I make Goofy do this too?
Yeah, right? Like, I just want him to use it and then cram the Moogle coin down his throat and just be like, get up!
Right? Does that get around it if you have a fucking Moogle coin? Jesus, you just cast fucking infinite 12th level spells because you have a fucking res right there.
Bitch, I have 500 gold. You're forever. So that's a thing.
Yeah.
So he casts the ultimate spell. It really messes up Terra, but then he just summons a tornado of, like, infinite Heartless, and they do that weird spout thing that they do.
Yeah.
And it starts consuming people. And it consumes everyone up to you, Sora, and Riku. And Sora's like, we've lost. Drops his Keyblade, falls to his hands and knees, is like, we lose. I'm sad.
Yeah, Sora has a straight up bitch moment.
Yeah. And Riku's like, you don't believe that. And Sora looks at him and is like, what? And Riku's like, yeah, we haven't lost yet. You don't believe that.
Yeah.
Man the fuck up.
Yeah, like he's trying to pep talk him. Get up. We haven't lost. You don't believe that.
Yeah, and then Swirling Tornado comes towards Riku and he just charges right in there and is like, Key!
Like a fucking man.
And it's like splintering, you know, like they do in animes where the thing breaks on his sword and then it slowly consumes him as he's like sitting there. And then once it consumes him, it converges back on Sora and Sora goes, no! And then you die. Everyone is dead. GG.
Straight up.
And then Sora wakes up.
Dead.
In the land of in-between.
Kind of.
Okay, what is this? And all of a sudden a weird Muppet walks up to you and goes, hey, what are you doing here?
Why are you here again?
And you're like, I don't know where here is. He's like, this is it. This is the end. When people die, they come here, kind of.
Yeah, except...
and like they come here and then they move on to the actual end. This is like the in-between step.
Yeah, this is the way station or whatever. But
to the
no
afterlife.
one here has a form.
Yeah, you become ethereal here.
Which Sora kind of does.
Yeah, he's all see-through, but he's still Sora.
Yeah, which...
And that's why he's like, but you're not.
Yeah, and Weird Cat Doll's like, yeah, no...
Now you weird.
Well, and she makes the comment like, you've been here before, but I always sent you back. And he's like, well, just do that again. And she's like, I can't.
You're not complete. Because usually you come here, like, I guess in his dreams.
Yeah.
He'll sometimes end up there.
Yeah, which she says, some people that happens to from time to time.
Yeah. So I just ushered you back before, but you have to do it yourself this time, kind of.
Yeah, like, I can't help you with this one.
And that means you have to collect Soras.
So many motherfucking Soras.
How many Soras? It's like 200.
Oh. The best part is. Did you talk to any of the ethereal stars that are around?
God, no. Well, I talked to one, and then I was like, this is boring.
They're all characters who I wasn't sure who the fuck they are. Namine's in there somewhere. Oops, sorry. There's other people.
Cool.
So, it's... how do you describe this? It's a beautiful blue sky that is partly cloudy, and the clouds are rolling over. And it is just enough water to be reflective, so you cannot tell the difference on the horizon between the ground and the sky. And you have to collect copies of Sora, which you see walking around, but there are things you can talk to, which are barely visible stars. And when I say barely visible, you might think of something with a white outline, and you can get that right out of your head, because it's not there. It is a clear outline on a plane that you can't tell the floor from the sky.
Mm-hmm. It's just like this weird point in existence, and you know that they're there because you run into them.
Yeah, it makes a star shape. If you can catch it just right, you can see that it's the shape of a star.
Yeah. I talked to one and I was like, this is boring, I'm done.
I thought I had to talk to them all. I didn't realize I just had to collect the fucking Soras right there.
Nope, I was just like, I'm going to collect the Soras, and then if I have to talk to them all, that'll be miserable, but I'm going to just start with this.
There's so many of them, Jason. Seriously. There's like fucking 24 of them, because like, it makes a fucking bigger ass star pattern around it.
So you collect the, like, 10 Soras that are there, and you're like, man, I still need, like, another 190 Soras. And they're like, so you won this area. And this is where they decide to introduce you to the bizarre platforming section of, there's a bunch of Soras running around on this weird series of like cubes, and it's got all the movement things. You can run up walls. It's got weird places for you to spin on. It's got zip lines. It's got everything.
You can fly around.
And it's got these weird floating fun-colored cubes. And when you hit them, the whole stage rotates.
Well, yeah, in case you clear a side.
So it's a whole 3D platforming section
The funnest of puzzles.
that has the world rotate and has you running around trying to collect Soras. This was awful, and I hated it.
And it takes forever, and there's no reason why you have to collect so many of them.
Yeah.
And it just keeps fucking going.
Yep. And you never know which way, I'd hit some cubes and they don't all rotate in the same direction.
No, huh?
It was awful, and I hated it. That's the whole section. And then you have a full body again, and Cat Puppet Face says, well, you can leave now. I'm going to stay here and wait for someone. You're like, well, who is it? I can tell them that you're waiting. And they go, I'm not going to tell you that. Bye.
Yeah, Cat Puppet says that the whole reason why he didn't move on and he should have died is because there was someone back in the mortal world that is keeping him here. So bust a fucking move, bro. Yeah, when you find all the pieces of Sora, and Sora's like, hey, who are you looking for? And she's like, I'm not going to tell you. Like, we're friends. Like, you've helped me out times. Let me help you out. And she's like, that's nice. Thank you. But no. And he's like, well, you know what? I'll see you later, friend. She's like, thanks? That's weird. Leave? Why are you here?
Yeah. You made it awkward, dude. Don't just go.
I want to find that little cat puppet. That thing is adorable.
I mean, it is adorable. But yeah, then Sora just fucks right back off to the mortal realm. And then it replays the cutscene where everyone dies.
Yeah. It is not a short cutscene.
Just whole hog. They just replay the whole thing. Why?
Well, no, there's changes.
Minor.
When Terra goes bad and he starts to flip out, Sora runs up to stop him. Instead of smashing Veritas or whatever his name is. I'm going to call him Verizon.
Sure.
When he goes to, plow Verizon, Sora stops him. And then, because that stopped, Donald doesn't have to do his Zeta Flare shenanigans. And then, time changed.
Yeah.
Everything changed.
When the Fire Nation attacked.
Thank you.
All right, so this is where I mostly, I think, only watched cutscenes. Because is this where the labyrinth starts? Because when do you go to Olympus again? Is that right when you come back? Because you go to Olympus and you get save
back the
Riku.
Yep.
Because you have to go all the worlds and save all the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so they replay the end of everyone dying. But Sora doesn't die this time. Instead, he ends up on Olympus.
So is it the third time that he stops him?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
So the second time they play through everyone dying again, except Sora lives. And now you go to Olympus to save...
You have to collect everyone's hearts from the Heartless Reaper guy,
Reaper, yeah.
Which is the same boss fight 7 times in a fucking row.
Yep. As he teleports from world to world, you have to beat him and collect everyone's hearts back.
Yeah, we're using the power of waking. Mm-hmm. You collect everyone's hearts.
So then you go back to the Keyblade Graveyard and bring back everyone, and then it plays the third time. But, literally exactly the same, where you see Terra, and Ventus runs up and is like, Terra! And you're like, we did this. What is happening? Because it's not even like that whole thing didn't happen. That happened and killed him, and then you brought him back to life. This didn't work last time. What are you doing? So then you stop him instead of him going full,
Do they remember that?
I don't know. Sora should.
Yeah, I mean, he does.
And should be like, guys, that's not Terra.
Although you'd think he would have remembered it, fucking second time.
Yep. Great. So then you actually stop him from going all for full murder mode, and this is where you start fighting the idiots.
Yeah.
Goon Squad.
The Goon Squad shows up. The old Spaniard's like, now that we're all gathered, it's labyrinth time! And a giant stone labyrinth appears around you as the group breaks up to go fight evil dudes.
Yeah. You fight evil dudes. For each group of evil dudes, you join party members of the 7 motes of light or whatever.
As you run through it, it gives you the choice. You'll come to an intersection, you'll see friends, right? Yep. The first one you come to is Mickey on one side and Riku. No, Riku's with Mickey.
I thought Riku's
Lolly
by
Chan
himself.
And Mickey might be by himself.
Mickey is definitely by himself. Riku.
It's Mickey and Lolly Chan.
Yeah.
because I went with Mickey because he was the king.
He's the king.
Yeah, you protect the king. That's what you do.
And then each one is 2 or 3 members of evil.
3.
Mickey, you get Magic Man,
Antenna,
and I don't remember.
Magic Man.
Yeah, Magic Man's the big bad of that one. He puts Mickey in a card.
Oh, right, card bois.
Yeah, Magic Man.
I just think Adventure Time every time. It's like turning a deer into a fucking telescope or whatever.
So there's fights. Every time you beat someone, they have to give you their life story.
Yeah. In a game jam-packed with useless cutscenes, boy, they don't skimp that shit at the fucking end where you beat one of the quote-unquote big bads, and then each one gets its own 2-minute cutscene. Mm-hmm. Every fucking one.
Yeah, Antenna Girl is basically like, I never cared for their mission, I just wanted something to do.
Well, she was there for some hot dicking, which I don't think she ever got.
Magic Man basically is just like, that was a fun game.
Yeah, like he just liked a challenge.
Yeah, that was it. He was like, yep, you're a pretty good player, Sora. Maybe we'll play again back when I'm recompleted. And you're like, what? If literally all you were looking for was some weird magic challenge, why did you have to be a bad guy? Sora would 100% agree to that.
Yeah. Well, like, even on the Pirates world, like, he's not, like...
He doesn't antagonize you, really.
No, he's not... He even says he's not really, like, that into the whole evil thing. And he's like, yeah, I'm just here. Like, we got a game to play. Like, we made a bet. Let's go.
And the entire time, you're like, I don't know why you're evil. Like, you're real dumb.
It's the mustache. It's that shitty pencil mustache.
I get it. And then, oh god, I can't even remember who else is there.
I don't know. Fuckwad is also there.
Great. You do a thing.
Yeah.
Lee and Kyrie is X-Face.
Yep.
Dead chick. Because she has her hood up the whole time.
Yeah.
And then she betrays them because she won't kill Lee because they're friends.
Somebody else is there, too.
Yeah. Well, for a little while, one of the big bads is there.
Yeah. Isn't it Xenobeef or whatever it is?
I think that's where Beefcake sits. Yeah. So the Beefquake is there. And eventually, like, he ruins Lee's day.
Yeah, he fucking does.
Lee is like, I'll never give up, and swings his Keyblade at him, and he literally just grabs the Keyblade out of the air with his hand, and is just like, you call this a Keyblade? He just smashes it with his hand, and Lee's like, And then, because he goes all lightsaber hand.
Yeah, because he doesn't even pull out a blade. He has some, like, fucking lightsaber.
He's just like, I'm gonna kill this guy now. And you're like, what? And that's where Dead Chick stops him. And she's like, don't kill him. We still need the 7 Heroes of Light, right? And old Beefquake's like, not alive we don't. So it's treason then.
Yeah. It's like, almost exactly. It's treason then.
And then Twinkle in the Sky. Oh man, I skipped. Who the fuck was that helped you out in the magic tornado?
Oh, fucking Rider X that just fucking shows up.
When you're like, how are we gonna defeat this tornado? And then, like, Sora has this crazy flashback, and this dude who I have never seen before and you don't see again is facing away from you, turns and looks over his shoulder at Sora and is like, sup? And then Keyblades start flying from the...
I have no fucking idea who that guy was.
And so all these Keyblades help you destroy the tornado of death. And Aqua's like, we have the power of the past on our side. And you're like, what is happening? That's before the labyrinth, by the way.
Oh, did you notice, because you have to mash triangle to use a fucking Keyblade which shoots out, but they all have names? Mm-hmm. I wonder where they pulled the names from.
Oh, I have no idea.
Because, like, some of them are just, like, regular names, and some of them are, like, stupid-ass, made-up sort of gamer-taggy things. So, like, I wondered if it was, like, part of the dev team, and, like, you know, they got to fill in whatever they wanted there.
Maybe.
Or if it's, like, pulling players, or...
Oh, that could be weird. It could be, though.
It, like, just looking at the names, like, it could be.
Yeah, people have beat the game, and it just slots them in. No idea.
That's probably not what it is, but...
Probably not, because then you'd get that weird, like, you'd have to have a filter system, because duh.
I mean, you'd think so, but also not necessarily.
Anyway, so that happened, I forgot about it, then I remembered it, and now you know, because that's a thing that happens.
Well, as I'm thinking about it, because, like, wouldn't the dev team be in Japanese, but they're not, like, Japanese names?
They're not. So I don't know.
Well, not all of them anyway. They're all over. Yeah, and anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, Rider X shows up, saves the day out of fucking nowhere. Deus Ex that guy, and then
Yep. So then now we get our next, solid Deus Ex moment. Well, sorry. We actually had another Deus Ex moment that I skipped where Super Disney shows up and proves that he's Moses.
I love this scene. When
After you have the power of the past, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. Labyrinth shows up and then another gajillion Heartless. And you're like, I don't know how we can get there. And then all of a sudden, twinkle in the sky, because we need everything all the time. Bam! Meteor basically hits, wipes out a huge section of the Heartless. Do-do-do-do-do! It's Yensid.
Yensid, who just makes a light barrier.
Yeah.
Like, makes a beam where they need to go, which parts, and then he's like,
no,
get going, scrubs.
He Moses is it. He just, sticks his hand out, a beam of light shoots from his hand through all the Heartless, and he takes his other hand and just goes, and creates a hallway.
It's so fucking good.
And he's just like, yeah, go. I got this. And they're like, what? He's like, oh, I didn't stutter, did I? Go.
What are you waiting for? And then they fuck around for 3 minutes,
yeah.
And he's like, would you leave now?
And then the old Danold and the Goovels are like, we're going to stick with Master Yensid, because we don't have keys, so we're not Keyblade Masters, so we're not going to be useful during the final battle. Sounds good.
Okay, great.
Deuces. So you leave them behind for the whole labyrinth. Now we get to the third Deus Ex Machina, because when old lightsaber hand is gonna kill Lee, and then she tries to stop him, he's like, no, I'm still gonna kill this bitch. And then Roxas shows back up.
Yeah.
So Roxas got the replica that shitty guitar face smuggled.
Right, it was Roxas who I'm thinking of, not Verizon, because
and yes,
he shows
Roxas
up the first time
is
and
just
beats the other guy.
Just dope.
Yeah.
He absolutely annihilates people.
Yeah, that's just what he does?
I mean, he's the character you play as in 2.
Okay.
I think. I guess he never got depowered, so he's just still dope.
Yeah, because, yeah.
You don't get to play as him, but he just ruins shit.
Yeah, and then Beef Quick fucks off.
Yeah.
He's like, I ain't dealing with this.
And then you beat up X-Face, and then you don't beat up old dead chick because she's friends with Lee.
She's on your side now.
Yep. Due to the power of friendship. And X-Face, his monologue is all about how he was sad and jealous that Lee made more friends than he did. That was it. When they were both evil and with Dead Chick, the 3 of them were friends, and then Dead Chick died, and then Lee made new friends, and Scarface
left him behind, yeah.
Was like, you left me behind. And Lee was like, I mean, we were never not friends. You could have come hang out. And he was like, but I was jealous.
Yeah, where he's up on this pillar, and then he walks backward and falls off it, and he just disappears.
Yeah, because no one dies. That's been established.
Yeah.
So that leaves the group of Aqua and them.
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
Okay, so but I don't know if they. Anyway, so you've got
it's boss rush.
It's Riku, and you fight evil Riku and
evil Sora.
Yeah,
because it's this is when you find out that it's evil Sora.
Yeah, so this is where you fight Riku and Vanitas, and it's evil Sora and basically evil Riku. Evil Sora, it's just a dick.
Yeah,
it's great. And you beat him and his helmet shatters, and that's when oh wow, you are a copy of Sora, and because you're the bad whatever. And so he's like, yeah, me and Ventus are opposites. And something, so he's my brother and I complete him, and just like you and Roxas or something, and that's why I look like you, because we're destined to intertwine throughout history and something. It's stupid.
Yeah.
And then he fucks off. Which is funny, because then Sora's like, yeah, but Roxas chose to be good, why don't you choose to be good? And Vanitas is just like, but I'm a bad motherfucker, and vanishes. That's basically how it ends. And then evil corrupted replica past Riku.
Jesus Christ. It bothers me more that I know what you're talking about.
You beat him, and then, by the way, at one point when Riku is in the world of darkness with Mickey, he's getting beat up and is going to lose, and all of a sudden he gets a surge of power from replica Riku, who is a heart inside of Riku. Replica Riku from the past, when he was an evil replica, his heart is inside Riku, but is fading. And he's like, when I was you, I was evil, and I've realized that that's bad, and I'm dying because I'm a replica heart, not a real heart. So I've just been living inside you this whole time because I know I don't really have anywhere else to go, and that's it. And so then when you're fighting evil replica past Riku and beat him, the version inside of Riku shoots out of him and grabs the side you're fighting and rips him out of the replica and is like, did something good, bitches. And Riku's like, but you could take over that replicant and join us. And he's like, nah, someone else needs that. I've lived a weird, broken, tortured existence. I'm gonna take this guy with me. We out. And so he fades off into the distance because the new replicant is for Naminé, who's living inside Kairi. Yep. Cool, then...
This is garbled word salad at this point.
Finally, you get to Aqua and Ventus. You join them to fight Terra. Terra chains everyone up.
Right.
And then Terra's heart inside a big, beefy, heartless dude...
Yeah.
shows up and starts wrecking Terra's body. And then Sora unlocks Terra's body. Terra's heart flies from the beefy Heartless into his own body and recompletes himself. And so you get regular Terra back. Good guy Terra.
Yeah, yep. So, like, okay, here's my thing. I remember doing this. I watched it happen, right? And then you say those words back to me, right? And I can picture it in my head as it's doing its thing. And it just sounds like shit you just made up, right?
That's, I think, my favorite part is that I am describing all of this. And honestly, I could be making all of this up. You wouldn't know. No one would know. It's impossible to know because it's all impossible. It's nonsense. And the thing is, folks, we're getting there. We're actually pretty close to the end now.
Yeah, we are.
Because after that, it is time to face off against the Xehanorts. And I mean that. It is Xehanort, young Xehanort, Xemnas? Zibazooble? What are their names again?
Yeah, it's Xemnas, Beefquake, because they don't call young Xehanort.
No, they call him something else.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's the Triple X is here. X gonna give it to you.
It's the X gonna give it to you time. And as you fight them, they all have extra garbage things.
Yes.
Like, you beat up young Xehanort, and his whole thing is, like, I'm losing here, and I'm gonna go to the past, where I'm from. And you're like, wait, that's how time travel works? Like, you kill him, and he just gets to go to the past? And, like, retry? That's fucked.
Isn't it young Xehanort that repeatedly tells Sora...
Yeah, and then he tells you,
yeah,
you are heading into the abyss.
Yeah, you cannot use the power of waking like you use it. You're dooming yourself.
Yes. You will reach the bottom of the abyss, and there will be no saving you, Sora. Bleh.
Yeah. And then when Beefquake's on his way out, he's like, you're trash, you're always trash.
Yeah. And then the other one is, as I told you, my favorite, where he's just like, guess you're better than me. I lost. Deuces. And you're like, what? He, like, holds no ill will towards you. He's just like, yeah, I guess I lost. Gonna have to try harder next time. Bye. What the fuck?
Yep, which just leaves you and the old Spaniard.
But beating all of his minions gave the old Spaniard all of the keys he needed. So you did what he wanted?
Which makes you wonder why they just use the keys in the first, like, why did they need to be defeated for any of that to work?
Right, why couldn't he just, like, kill him himself? I don't understand.
I mean, isn't that why he had spares? Like, legitimately?
Yeah, I don't understand anything about this
like, because some of the organization members bitch about being benched, like, he had just people on reserves in case he needed them.
Mm-hmm. Because Guitarface literally never shows up.
Yeah.
Ever again in the entire game.
Yeah, he done.
Cool. So he forges the Keyblade.
That's key with the X, right?
Yeah. The X gonna give it to you, Blade.
The Keyblade.
Opens Kingdom Hearts. So basically just means he shoots a laser beam at the heart-shaped moon, and it turns purple and starts raining fire on everything.
Yeah.
And you're like, we've lost. Again, with the we've lost nonsense. And Mickey's like, we haven't lost yet.
We could just relock the moon.
Basically.
Yeah.
They reveal to you that Xehanort is in fact a portal. Holy fuck, what is anything anymore?
Okay, well, they finally say what the Kingdom Hearts is. Because this whole game I was wondering, the fuck is a Kingdom Hearts? And I'm glad that I started here when I actually get a resolute answer to it, instead of the previous 3 games where I would have had to wait 96 years for them finally to fucking come out. Where the Kingdom Hearts is where the universe came from.
Yeah.
It is the light that is everything. It is what made the world.
It is the power that creates being. It is all powerful.
Yeah.
Great. So he unlocks it and blah, blah, blah. Fire, raining fire. And yes, Mickey.
Right. It's not that he's a portal, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
Because at some point, when they realize that he has the power to transcend space and time through just big dick energy, it's in doing so, you can do that. Like, you can use him to do that as well. Yeah.
Yes. That his power to travel through space-time is, like, inherent to him and not, like, you can use that power if you grab him.
Yeah.
So you do that. You and, Donald and Goofy show up again because fuck them.
Yeah, legit, where the fuck did they come from?
They literally just walk up and
they're
are
just
like...
there suddenly.
Well, because Sora's like, we've lost, and they're like, well, we'll lose together as friends. And you're like, what?
How does that stop death, my
I
dude?
don't understand. Friendship is magic. So the three of you launch yourselves into Xehanort, and bibbidi-bobbidi-boo, you go to La Casa de Brazil. What is the name of the place?
Fucking, was it Scala de Caleb? Callum? Scala de Callum.
Yeah. And here you have the Xehanorts. You go through this city, and there's like no one there. And then there are these weird like Xehanort clones.
Yeah, like you see copies of the old Spaniard walking around.
And then they like transform into weird...
This like armored form.
Is it like a deer skull?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, it's some weird animal face.
Yeah.
And you fight that, and then he's like, you see the real him, I guess. He monologues a bit about something dumb, and he sucks all their power into him, and then he goes full, what's the movie where he bends the world?
Oh, Inception.
Yeah, he goes full Inception and
Yeah, he
literally
does.
just starts folding the world, bibbidi bobbidi boo.
Yeah, which is ruining it. Well, he tells you, like, this is the place that he's from,
Yeah.
and then proceeds to ruin it.
This is where he's from, and this is the place where all Keyblade wielders draw their power from. Something, something. This is the place between all worlds.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, you thought it was space. Haha.
Yeah. Okay, my dude. And so then you go and you fight him more and 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 more. And then, Jesus. So you just finally end up like on a rooftop somewhere.
Yeah, this fight goes in several stages. There's the Inception stage, there's an underwater section because fucking why not? There's a part where you have to fight him as, what is like rage form Sora, where like he uses light against you because he has a Keyblade because he's not evil. Lols.
Yeah, he's a Keyblade master. He's not quote unquote evil.
And then, I don't know, deal the final blow fucking eventually. Like,
Yeah.
he does some shit, and there's a quick time event, and then charge a thing, and then fucking friendship, and everyone hugs or fucking whatever.
Yeah. And so then this is where he's like, I am defeated, but not defeated. Ozymandias rules. I already activated the space laser.
La.
So you've lost. Like, it doesn't matter that you beat me. And he reveals his grand scheme, Ozymandias style, after he says you've already lost, and says basically he's using Kingdom Hearts to reset the universe.
Yeah, so, the Kingdom Hearts in the light created the world. And the darkness inherent to the world comes from the people that reside in it. But not all people are bad. They can be cleansed. If he uses the Kingdom Hearts, then we can just start over.
Yeah.
Sora's main sticking point, which is fair, is that no one gave him the right, or like nothing gives him the right to just wipe everything out. However, due to the recompletion nonsense that nobody fucking dies, he kind of has a point.
Yeah, it's super weird. I don't fully understand what, like, the downsides to his plan are.
I don't, like, there's not really an upside either. Like, what is the darkness doing?
Yeah, and, like, if he fails, if he succeeds and cleanses the world, and, like, if there's more people, won't there just be more darkness? Like,
Why wouldn't the cycle just start back over?
Yeah. What? What does his plan even do? What? And then all your friends shoot through the heart moon and land alongside you, and they're like, we're here because we're friends. That's actually it. They used their friendship to guide them to Sora.
Yep.
And
he's like, through the power of waking, Mickey's like, no, that would be stupid.
And then old Xehanort's like, well, I'm gonna have to strike you all down or something. And then Ericus shows up out of nowhere.
Mark Hamill shows up, yeah.
He, like, walks out of Terra's body.
Yeah. He was secretly Terra the whole time?
Yeah.
Or inside Terra?
He was secretly inside Terra the whole time, and then he just, like, astral projects out of him and is like, dude, chill the fuck out. And Xehanort's like, what? I should chill out? And he's like, yeah, you should chill the fuck out. Xehanort's like, well, you've got a point.
He's like, well, you tried it, you failed. The whole thing's pretty fucked. And he's like, yeah, God, I'm tired. Because, you know, he's his oldest time at fucking self.
I mean, he actually is.
Yeah.
Like, good lord. I don't know how many bodies he's gone through. Since he just, like, can body hop, apparently.
That's got to take a toll on you, right?
Right? So he just hands the Keyblade over to Sora. It's just like, okay.
Fuck it.
Then you get, like, they jump back to the Keyblade Graveyard regular world and turn off Kingdom Hearts.
Yep.
And then you get the sweet reveal that the chess players at the beginning were Ericus and Xehanort as kids.
Oh, what?
And Ericus beats him. And is like, Xehanort's like, man, Ericus, when the world's in danger, they'll pick you. Trust me. The world couldn't be in better hands. And you're like, I hate all of this.
Well, and he's like, but I'll always be there for you, Xehanort. Don't worry, buddy. And they're like, ha ha ha, bro hug.
Bad guy wasn't kind of actually bad. Everyone was just a misunderstanding. Everyone's friends. Everyone is talking. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Kairi got kidnapped and then murdered. Actual straight murdered.
Oh, fuck, she did, right.
Right, yeah, so, like...
Right, because anytime, like, Kairi and Sora, by the rules of the universe, can't be in the same place at the same time for more than 2 minutes.
Basically, they're in love, I say weirdly and trepidatiously.
Well, like, they're in that, like, sort of, fucking young adult novel hand-holdy kind of love, but also in that, like, Hungry Eyes kind of way, too.
And also in the, like, fated by destiny type of way.
It's weird. Because, like, they both thirst for each other.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
at one point when Sora is coming back to life, he sees her, and, like, she's his guiding light to come back.
Well, in the fucking weird limbo world, he talks to Namine. How the fuck does that work?
So, like, they're all super weird and stuff. So, she's dead. Straight up dead. One of the ex gonna give it to you is just murks her.
Yeah.
Straight fridged. It's like, damn, son. Sora's like, great, I'm gonna use the power of waking to bring her back to life.
At this point, literally everyone standing there is like, dude, you can't do that. Do not do that.
And Sora just goes, nah, I'm gonna do it.
I'm a pro tag. Everything works out for me.
Beep, bop, boop. Power of waking. He does the thing.
Yeah, so cue the end of the game montage?
When do Pete and Maleficent show up again?
The end of the montage.
Right. So, he saves her?
Okay, so you get, like, weird credits. Wait, no, you don't get credits here. You get, like, characters running around doing stuff together. On Hamfist Island, you see them all, like, having a beach party. They're playing volleyball and frisbee and shit. The end of it is it pans over to everybody, like, hanging out, and they look over at the same direction to see what's-her-fuck, Lolly-chan, Kairi, Lolly-chan and Sora sitting next to each other in a tree. And, like, their hands are on, like, Sora's hands over Kairi's or whatever. And as the camera fades out, so it's like beautiful island sunset, and Sora fades out of existence. And it's just her sitting there alone.
Yeah.
Cut.
So presumably he saved her, but as past Xehanort basically said is, if you use your power of waking, it will kill you.
Yep. He doomed himself to save Kairi.
Okay.
Then you get credits, and then it picks back up with Maleficent and Pete.
So, by the way, they've shown up on, like, almost every world where they show up. There's no one to interact to. So it just, like, camera cuts to them walking out of a portal and being like, this ain't the box, and then leaving again.
Yep, not here.
So their thing is, like, teaser, I guess?
They find the box at the end.
Yeah, but then, like, it's not like a resolution.
No, it's not. It's
a teaser for the next game, where it's like, here's the box. And then, okay, so I didn't see this cutscene, but the way you described it, it sounds like the people with animal faces show up, which are all Keyblade masters.
Drawn there by Scarface Guy, who is one of them.
From the past. So, like, Ericus, like, is descendant from that. Like, these Keyblade masters from the past, and Xehanort. who wear animal faces.
Yeah, it's 3 of them, and they want to know why Scarface has called them to him. And he says his name, like it didn't mean anything to me. I didn't write it down or remember what it is. But he's like, yeah, I've had to change my face a few times over the years. It's been a long time. And they're like, where's so-and-so? They're like, I guess she didn't make it. And they're like, well, what are you talking about? And I was like, well, there's time for all that later. We've got work to do. Fade to black. So it just fucking ends on a cliffhanger. Well, yeah. The quote-unquote cliffhanger.
This is not even a resolution to this insane plot they put together. All of this stuff that I've described, and most of it I've probably gotten 20% right. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. It is people inside of people. It is amnesia, time travel, everything. It's nonsense, and they still just can't finish it. Good Lord. I lost Jake. I'm gonna rant for a little while. My God. So, real talk. It is insane how, through all of that, they could not find a way to finish it. There is a secret ending, which I had to look up, Jake had to look up, and hopefully he comes back soon, because the secret ending shows Sora and what appears to be Riku basically walking around Earth? I don't recognize where Riku is. Sora is just in Tokyo. It's the one famous crossing. It starts with an S. You know the one I'm talking about. Look it up. Grab your Google. Tokyo famous crossing. It'll be right there. It's the first thing. Blah. So, yeah. The secret ending is just a, double cliffhanger. Because they need to get you hype for Kingdom Hearts 3.2 nuclear arms race.
No, Kingdom Hearts 4 due out 2035.
What the fuck is all of this? Why? And again, there's no resolution, really.
No.
I mean, you stopped Xehanort. You closed the Xehanort saga, I guess. Time for the next saga?
Okay, but did you? Because fucking Xehanort's bullshit time travel.
Who knows? They could easily bring him back.
Yeah. The young one said he's a-coming.
Basically. The young one was just like, yeah, I gotta go to the past and try again. And you're like, that doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, this doesn't stop me. Ha 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 ha. Get fucked.
What? What was that? That was the story. That is the story of Kingdom Hearts. Now, do any of you, right now, just stop listening and ask yourself, do you feel better about that? Do you feel better about the time you've wasted listening to it? The time we've wasted playing it? This was an affront onto everyone and everything.
And the best part about this is, that's just the story. We haven't even gotten to the fucking gameplay.
And we're gonna try to touch on some of it because it's worth mentioning. How weird, how just some of the game decisions and the badness of it.
Let's start with what you do for most of the time, which is the active combat system.
Yeah. Most of this game is running from place to place, fighting mobs of Heartless.
Hold on. Most of this game is sitting through cutscene, but...
And then running from place to place and fighting mobs of Heartless. That's the game. If I had to tell you, that's it. And then, again, every world has a weird, mini game thrown in.
It has its own, gimmick.
Yeah.
You have attack, jump, dodge, block, same button.
Yeah.
And special, which is contextual. It changes. So let's start with what you can hotkey and then move into the attractions and shit and then the different weapons, all right?
Right. So you get to attack. Pew, 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 pew.
Because Final Fantasy, you have Final Fantasy spells that you can hotkey, hold L1 or something to bring up a menu.
Yeah,
so you can
L1.
Fire, water, thunder, water, arrow, fuck Blizzard Go, whatever dumb shit they call it.
Yep. All your Final Fantasy spells.
Yep.
Curaga.
I've always hated the Final Fantasy spell naming convention.
It does an adequate enough job.
Oh, yeah, no, it does.
That's what it does. It's not great, but it does what it needs to. Here's a spell, here's the bigger version, here's the biggest version.
Yeah.
Great. So you have all those spells. Any of them that aren't cure are pointless. Mm-hmm. And cure is also actually pointless once you get to a certain point in the game. They use your mana, you have a mana meter. You have a focus meter. Ask me what the focus meter is good for.
The focus meter, I assume, is for the summons.
No,
that's magic.
That's magic.
The focus meter. So
you know that you're air jumping.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, remember how you can also target a bunch of things and release a bunch of laser beams?
Depending on what weapon you have equipped,
yes.
It does different things. Yeah.
That's the only thing the focus meter is used for.
Because we haven't even gotten to the different keyblades. The keyblade that I use is the one you get from Monsters Inc. So
Yeah, you get a keyblade from every world.
when you target the max amount of things, a bunch of portals open up, and you shoot the yo-yos through them, and it just like shoots through all of them.
Mine's literal laser beams. Because I used the cactus from Toy Story the whole time. Because it's a plush cactus on a, like, handle. It's so dumb looking.
What does it turn into?
A hammer.
You, Jason, using a hammer.
It turns into a giant hammer that you smash the ground with, and it does massive AoE damage. It's choice. And then you turn it into a drill claw, which is the claw machine claw.
Yeah.
On your hand that you punch people with. And then when you pull the finisher on that, you literally shoot it out with a cord, grab someone with it, and take that enemy and smash it into other enemies. Yep.
Yeah, so, well, like I said, I'd use the Monsters Inc. one, which turns into claws. Like, the Keyblade just comes over, so you have these claws, which is a quick, like, swipe attack, which has a large area that you swipe in, like, you basically just fucking spin on them. And then it upgrades from there to 2 buzzsaw yo-yos, and that you just swing them around you. Like, it hits fucking everything. And then that's final attack is, like, the yo-yos get teeth, and, like, it traps one or a bunch of enemies inside it and just, like, chomps down on them. Like, there's one on top, one on the bottom, just like bam, 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 bam.
Sure.
Which I never use because that's not what the yo-yos are for. That they're just for spinning and clearing a room in one go.
Well, I equipped the ability that when your meter ends, it just automatically triggers it. So I didn't even have to, like, try, and I gotta spend the full use.
I didn't do that because most times I didn't want it to go off.
Sure.
So the summons, which I never used, like let's get through the combat, and then I can tell you why about that.
The summons are absurdly broken and dumb. They use your mana. Like Cure, they use all of your mana at once. They fully heal you, and they summon an ally. There's 5?
There's what? Ariel,
Simba,
Wreck-It Ralph,
Stitch,
and
and the weird balloon thing.
yeah,
Meow Meow Balloon.
sure.
So you summon one of these, and then they do whatever. So like Simba, giant fire cat, has fire roar and fire leap, where fire roar he goes roar and a giant wave of fire. Fire leap, he jumps in the air, lands, creates a ring of fire, and then they'll have a finish move where, like, Simba is the one I basically use all the time, is jump into the air and basically casts meteor. You're also immune to damage while they're out.
Why wouldn't you be?
Yeah. So it's a full heal, a partial immunity to damage, and a bunch of damage on top of it. It's like casting some of the strongest attacks in the game and a full heal. It's so dumb. Literally just spam Aeons and you'll beat every enemy in the game.
So, in addition to that, you have, for most of the game, Donald and Goofy with you, who do their own thing. They attack. If you give them an item, they'll drop heals on Sora or each other as needed.
You can set some of their preferences.
Yeah, you can set an AI preference for them.
Yeah, if you want them to be aggressive, or if you want them to just, like, heal bot, you can do that.
I mean, I just had them set to follow Sora, so that way we're all somewhat close together and we could just, like, target close to the same thing, which I found mostly effective. Donald is the caster. Goofy only has a shield. And there are group moves that you can do together, like Donald and Sora will light off a bunch of flares, or Donald will summon a fucking meteor swarm, which is the tits. Or Goofy, Sora throws him into the air and then throws him back down, and when he lands, Goofy goes off like an explosion because reasons.
Yep.
The three of them will also pull off a move called Trinity Shield, which for the life of me, I don't know what it does, besides it takes a lot of time and it's fucking useless.
Trinity Shield is the worst thing I've ever seen. Every time I accidentally did it, I was angry, because literally all of you jump behind Goofy's shield, and then you can, like, slowly move forward, or you can hit triangle to, like, finish, and you charge forward, and that ends it. But, like, if you hit someone, it does a little damage and then pushes them out of the way.
Well, you can, like, your attack with it is just like a little shield bash that doesn't do a whole lot.
Doesn't do much damage,
No.
it's an incredibly close range, and your mobility is basically non-existent.
Also, you get attraction moves.
Yep.
Yeah, what if they took rides from the fucking parks and then turned it into video game moves? like teacup.
The mad teacups that you literally get into, and they spin, and you crash them into people, and then the finisher for that is the three of them all converge and spin around in a circle, and it creates a like whirlwind type thing.
Like a carousel.
Carousel is another one where you literally are just on a carousel.
You're just on a fucking carousel.
It creates rings, and there's a ring on the outside. It's a fucking rhythm game where there's a ring on the outside, and as it shoots rings out of the carousel, you have to hit X as they hit your outer ring, and they come at different speed. It's a rhythm game, mini game, inside of a ultimate move based on a ride from the theme parks of Disney World.
And there are other ones like the whitewater raft or the roller coaster or the train or the like little blaster thing, which are all this like sparkly fucking bullshit light. Yeah, what the whose fucking idea were these? And like they take
a long time,
and they don't always do a lot of damage. Like the teacups they're fucking useless. The whitewater rafting thing, like if you can get it to where you trap enemies in it, and then like when you hit the finisher you go back through it, like that can fuck some shit up. Or the fucking pirate ship, like if you've got something in front of the pirate ship, because it only attacks directly in front of or behind it,
it just swings back and forth.
Yeah, like that will mess stuff up just because it gets stuck there, right? But I never wanted, like, in the off chance that I wanted to actually use one of those, which was the pirate ship if I had trapped something in a corner. When it finished, I didn't want it to do the finisher because that would make it take longer. So usually, like, I wouldn't do them. And then if I accidentally hit it, I would immediately hit triangle to just fucking skip past it. But we were talking about the, like, you had that set to automatically do the finisher at the end of it. The game has, and I hesitate to say RPG system, the combat is not complex, and as you level up, it gives you access to more things, both inside and outside of combat, like different movement things. It's mostly combat-based, so like if you've never played it, don't get excited here. And for your support crew, they have stuff like boost fire attack, or fire magic, or boost their shield, or use more items, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Sora's is a bunch of shit. A lot of the stuff that I focused on was base combos. I took the block off because blocking's not my game. We fucking dodge like champions, which I didn't even bother because Sora can take to the face. I hate him. You have a set amount of energy, and then every skill, let's say you use, takes up X amount of energy. So I turned block off so I could have like extra attack power. No, power's not one of them. No. It was midair recovery.
God, if there was one that you could put those points into to do more damage, I would have just done that.
That's all I did. Like, there's equipment you can set. Nothing. Well, there is like stuff to increase your defense, but none of it felt useful.
Not really.
So, like, by the end of the game, I dropped going for defense, and I just would double up on attack charms. Like, I should just hit harder. That's all I need. And like, the Keyblade I was using isn't the strongest in the game, but its attack speed is super quick, and it has such a wide area that it hits. That's why I stuck with it. And I had that thing fully upgraded. Like, it hit fucking hard. So it would be weird, like, attacking scrub enemies, and I'd get, like, 3 moves into, like, the 9-move combo, and I'd kill stuff. But, you know, just automatically target something else and keep going. And it's such a wide area, I was just spinning like a top my way through a battlefield, and I would take shit out. It was fine. Not exciting, which is maybe my biggest deal. At first, I really liked combat, because, like, I don't hate an active combat system. Depending on the game, I almost prefer a turn-based RPG, but generally I want them pixelated and on a Super Nintendo and called, I don't know, Final Fantasy III. So I was, like, the active combat system was fine at first, and then, Jesus Christ, quickly it overstays its welcome because it's boring. It's not, nothing you do is different.
Nothing you do is different, and nothing you do is hard. It spawns the same enemies over and over and over and over and over and over again in large numbers, but it doesn't matter. You're so much better than them.
No, and it'll occasionally mix it up with a boss fight, and the boss fights are different, but they're just bigger, tankier versions of enemies that are around.
Honestly, most boss fights was just me running at them and then just spamming attack until they died.
Yeah, they'll only take so much damage. The damage phase is over, then you dodge and you wait for the next damage phase. Mm-hmm. Hoo boy. Yet another thing to pad out the length of this fucking game.
Yeah, so the combat, for all its intricacies, it's not.
It's not.
Again, I ignored all food. All the temporary buffs you can have, never used them.
Mm-hmm.
All the spells you can cast, never cast them. The only thing I ever did was attack and summon Aeons.
See, I never summoned anything. I would use Cure. And there are 2 times in the game where you have to use magic. Once in San Francisco,
Yes.
and an optional one in Tangled, where you can just blow some dandelion seeds around for Rapunzel's enjoyment, which I was all about. Fuck yeah, girl. Check this shit out.
So that was it. Like, I beat the entire game, as I mentioned, way under-leveled, just spamming attack and aeons. That's it. Like, when you get to pirates, it's like you're supposed to be level 32 or something.
Sure.
I was somewhere in the mid-20s. I was like, I'm level 24. That's probably fine.
And it was.
No issues. Absolutely none. So then you move over to San Francisco, where, because obviously Pirates is 32, you're supposed to be 36. I was still like 25 because you don't get any levels from the Pirates area. No issues.
That's because I was like 38 going into there.
Yep. Nope. 25. I just wiped the floor with everything. The game's a joke. Which is fine. Again, like, if you wanted this to be a kid's game, but it's not. All the things that are just not.
No, it's not. So inside the same menu, you have some movement options, which are the, like, you can target an area, you get a thing that pops up, and you can almost teleport because you shoot over to something so quick. You can do a little spin attack there. You can chain that and then bounce up a bunch of stuff, which comes in handy. It forces you to do this a couple times.
It's called flow motion.
It's stupid. It's a fucking waste.
I turned those all off. I
did too.
No, not.
I had to turn it back on the spin attack one for San Francisco and Frozen.
Yeah, you need it. So that, like, it's this weird thing where they show it to you early where they're like, flow motion is this thing where you can press square to enter high speed activities, and it's dumb. In addition, so we talked about how each Keyblade has its own mode and how there's these special attraction rides. There is also a combo move, and not just with Donald and Goofy, but with whoever is your teammate at the time, since you team up on almost every level with someone there. Hercules literally grabs Sora and uses him as a weapon.
Yep.
Choice. Monsters Inc., everyone gets in a line and roars. Toy Box, I don't remember.
Well, they roll and then bowl Mike.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember Toy Box.
The rocket.
Oh god, the
Buzz,
rocket.
Woody, and Sora get on a rocket and attempt to fly that shit around.
Yeah, that thing's a nightmare. It literally just goes where it wants, and you're just there. Along for the ride, kiddos. Tangled.
I don't remember.
Frozen, when you get the golem, you have a team-up move.
Yeah. Where, like, you ride him as you just ruin shit.
Jump on his shoulders, and he's a golem. So you don't actually do anything. He's just a golem.
He's just a golem.
Pirates, you and Jack go back-to-back, and you do sword attacks as you just spin in a circle. And then the finisher on that one is you throw a bunch of bombs into the air and just hit them sideways, and it rains bombs everywhere. And then...
You know, like the movie.
Like the movie. San Francisco, I don't... Baymax.
You ride Baymax.
Yeah, you ride Baymax.
That one was alright.
So, like, you have additional combo moves. So these all pop up on the side. You can scroll through them.
Yep.
So you don't have to hit them necessarily in order. There's also a secret last one, which is the best one in the game. It's called Rage Form. What the hell?
Yeah, so it only triggers if you're below, 25% health?
Yes, if your health is blinking and you complete a combo. Because you've got, like, as you hit people, these arrows appear. 1, 2, 3, and then once you finish it, the thing pops up. So if you complete a combo while below 25% health, you'll unlock the ability to go Rage Form. Rage Form, you turn all black, your health refills to the max, and you gain the ability to teleport.
Yeah, your attack speed and strength increases, and you fucking teleport.
Yep, so you just literally blink around the map and just ruin things.
Yeah.
Rage Form is insane. Every time I saw it, I was just like, well, time to end this battle.
There was a couple enemies where I would be fighting, and I was like, I would just, like, let them hit me a few times just to hit the fucking rage for him. Like, well, let's do this.
Yeah.
Because this will end it faster.
So yeah, that's a thing you can do. And so that's it. There's all these things, and none of them are good. Rage Form's good. Just Rage Form. It's the best thing in the game.
Yeah.
Well, never do the stupid rides. They are flashy, long, they don't do a lot of damage, and they're just weirdly, for me, just, like, takes me out of, like, it's so weird to be like, yes, Mad Teacups. Why is this a thing?
Yeah.
Is Sora a big fan of Disney World?
How would Sora have any idea what that is?
Right? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why is that there? Carousel. What in God's
carousel,
name?
man.
Great, we're now just a sparkly carousel suspended in space, spinning, shooting out rings of energy. Why?
Why?
all of the stupid minigames.
All the minigames. Why does every stage have to have its own gimmick? Mm-hmm. For like, so the biggest issue I had, and I know when this game came out, like I had heard this complaint from other people, where like they throw a lot at you, and none of it is done particularly well.
Yes. There's so many things that are just there or half developed, and you're like, why is this here? And then it's never used again.
Yeah. Well, why even bother? And I know why, because the combat's boring.
Oh, yeah. They need you to do something else. Otherwise, you'll realize how bad the game is.
Yeah. Well, they try really hard to confuse you as much as possible with the convoluted-ass story that they're trying to tell.
If they just keep you off guard by just throwing random shit at you, you can never be displeased, right? Because you're just too busy being confused.
Yeah, if you're constantly stupefied, you're happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Kajillion Acre Wood fucking match game. Like, what? Why was that?
Why was that?
Why was
no one
that?
knows. It's not a plot point that is like ever revisited. It's barely a plot point in its own, other than like Sora's like, man, friendship's good. You should remember your friends. That's the whole plot point. And by the way, like friendship is magic isn't even like the end goal of the game.
No.
It's
beating up old Spaniards.
yeah, like it's not like they achieved that through the power of friendship. They achieved that through beating a dude half to death.
The only thing that kept that old man going was a goal in his head. And when his friend shows up from the afterlife, he's finally like, God, I'm old and tired. Finally.
It's a vague theme of it's a theme of the game, but it's kind of just shoehorned in. And then the games in the Gajillion Acre Wood are bad. It's a bad version of an old like game that people would play to pass the time.
And that's bad. The mech section in Toy Story that like
that's awful.
It sucks when when you show up to the toy store, it forces you to do it, and then you're thrown into the video game section where it forces you to do it. That sucks.
That's the like real thing in Toy Story. In the copy world of Toy Story, he throws Sora into a video game inside of this fake world. You're getting like serious Inception levels deep here, my dude.
Yeah. Or your favorite section of the entire game, Rapunzel's dancing, that goes on for way too long.
And the entire thing consists of hitting, is it circle? Is it triangle or square? I think it's triangle.
Yeah, it's triangle.
It's circle and triangle. That's it. Like,
because you gotta like dance or clap, right?
Get near people and either spin or stomp.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, or like the cheering up Boo in Monsters Inc. The entire sailing section in Pirates. You can't say Frozen because Frozen doesn't have anything going on.
I can't think of anything in there.
The find the correct snowman parts because let's pad this out more.
Oh, that happened. Yeah, that was awful. Which is funny because they don't even include that many.
No.
There's his head, his legs, and then I think I found 3 different bodies.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not like some grand adventure. It's one small area and you just do it. Great. Which
was maybe my biggest complaint. In any game that we spend an extended amount of time on, I find myself in that weird Stockholm Syndrome area where there are parts of this game where I kind of liked it. Initially, I liked the combat. By the end of it, I was ready to never do that again. I had said, like, my favorite part of the game, I didn't mind the sailing. I genuinely liked the riding for Rapunzel because I thought her lines were funny. That's it. And there were parts of this game where about halfway through, and I'd be like, I'll fucking play it. And then, like an hour later, I'm like, I'm over this. And by the time I have it in my notes, if for whatever reason anybody ever sees them, at a certain point in this game, I stopped taking notes while I was playing because it was taking too fucking long.
I get that.
So, like, I had a weekend to myself. I just sat and plowed through it so I would be done. Just so I didn't have to fucking do it anymore. And my thought was, I can go back because, and this has to be a Square Enix thing, and I fucking hate this, they only tell story through cutscene. So any story beats that I want to hit, I can find someone on YouTube who uploaded all of the fucking cutscenes because it's there, and then I can
13 hours.
Yeah, 13 fucking hours of a 29-hour game, and then I could fill out the rest of my notes from going through the cutscenes. And then I finished, and I was done. And I didn't want to do that. I couldn't bring myself to sit and watch more fucking cutscenes of this goddamn game. Now today, Jason, before you came over so we could record, like I was sitting there typing up more notes and trying to get my thoughts in order, right? And I opened up YouTube and I started to type it, and then I almost just shut my computer off and walked away. No, I'm not doing it. You can't fucking make me do it. I don't want to fucking do it. I know it is just Square Enix, right? Like they do. Well, we've played a lot of Square Enix games, so it's unfair. Why? What is it about them that they can't tell story through gameplay?
I don't know. And also just that they have such weird stories to tell that they're like, this needs to be 18 cutscenes, or that they need to be short cutscenes, right? How many times were there a cutscene that was like 2 characters saying hi, and then not a cutscene of run into this area and fight some Heartless, and after you kill the last Heartless, the screen goes white and cutscene again?
Yeah.
Why was there a fight in the middle of that?
Why was there?
What was that?
What it was at some point during the development cycle, they were told they need to hit X amount of gameplay hours, and they did everything they could to pad it out as much as possible.
I fully believe that.
There's no way that's not the case, because there's so much extra padding bullshit in here. Like, go collect 700 Soras. Get 19 million white fucking crabs before you can go on.
I mean, to be fair, again, the only section of the game that I might have liked is completely pointless. The space flight?
Yeah.
That doesn't need to be there at all.
No.
It doesn't move the plot at all. It doesn't have any character motivation or direction. It's literally a movement system from world to world. It doesn't need to be there. It just artificially pads out the length of the game.
Yeah, it does. Because you do not travel from world to world quickly. And, like, you can speed that up by throwing more engines on, but it's still, like, it takes a couple minutes to get there.
And some of the worlds are guarded by bosses.
Yep.
If you've done nothing with your ship, it's not super easy. Now, I did, so it was super easy, but
yeah.
I could imagine a world where someone who literally just booked it straight to each of the worlds would get to some of those bosses and just would actually have serious issues.
I can see that.
And then they're going to go back and actually do all the flying shit.
Yeah, and then like you go to one of the treasure planets and then your ship upgrades or levels up 900 times because it has its own separate upgrade system.
Yep.
Now, I will say the ice boss where it's like its own castle.
Yes.
That one gave me trouble because of the setup that I had where like all my guns were set to spread. So like when you have to hit a very specific area to hurt him at the end section where he shoots a giant laser beam at you, I had to quit that, go back to Chippendale, swap out my guns, go back, and then ruined him in 30 seconds, which irritated me that it took longer to make all those adjustments than it took to fly out there and beat him. Which sucks, but I would still rather have done that than played, say, the entirety of Frozen. Yeah. And gone through that fucking useless ice labyrinth. Like, I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna stop it. It's padded for no reason, and I'll stop rambling about it.
It is artificially long for, well, it isn't. It is an absolutely artificially long game. It is drawn out so much. And then it's funny because they just dump all this insane exposition right at the end of, again, the story that they, I guess, wanted to tell was this weird anime Final Fantasy nonsense. But there's so little of that in the front 2/3 of the game. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
The RPG-ness of this game is bad. The systems, it is a lot of stuff, and I couldn't be bothered. I honestly, like, getting in 30 hours into this game, right? And there's whole menus that I haven't gone into.
I believe that.
Because there's just so many menus.
There's so many fucking menus.
At the beginning of the game, it'll just pop up thing after thing after thing of like, bloop, you unlocked this now. Bloop, you unlocked this now. Bloop, you unlocked this now. And I don't know what any of these are.
It's like the shopkeeper, the Moogle. The only, like, Final Fantasy tie that's in there.
Yep, it is the only thing that made it in. Moogles.
He runs a shop. They... because it's a Moogle, I have no idea. They run a shop, and there's a whole crafting thing in there, and you can buy crafting materials, and you get crafting materials for all fucking over, and you use the crafting materials. Well, some of them you can turn into items. Some of them you can use to turn into things to upgrade Keyblades.
Yep.
Okay. Did you do any of that? I didn't.
I upgraded my Keyblade.
Oh, no, I upgraded the Keyblade. I mean, did you make components?
Once, because I needed a component to upgrade my Keyblade.
Okay, I didn't mess with it. The food, I didn't fucking mess with.
Yeah, the whole thing didn't touch. There's all just, like, God, I'm trying to even remember what some of them are. So the abilities, right? I didn't equip any of them until well over halfway through the game.
Every 5 or so levels, I would go in and check them.
Yep. Nope. Until eventually when I unlocked one and noticed that I couldn't use it, I was like, what the hell? I went over to abilities and I was like, you have to equip these. And I was like, why? Why doesn't it just unlock them?
Yeah.
I don't feel like I equipped the ones I wanted, and I'm like, I don't feel artificially constrained, or the fact that, like, if I had bonus fire damage in this build, that would all of a sudden make me OP since I don't even use it. Like,
well, it isn't like
you could
can
turn
have
on all of them and nothing would change.
None of them are conflicting either. Like the dodge and block are the same button.
Two of them are.
But if you hold still, it blocks, and if you move and you hit circle, it dodges.
There's a few that are like, after you block, hit X to do a thing, and then there's after you block, hit X to do a different thing. And you can't have both of those equipped at the same time.
Okay, that makes sense.
So there's like a very, very small handful that cannot be equipped at the same time. Which really, if you're building the game, you could just take one of those out because you don't need it, and then just auto-equip all abilities. It's a whole just extra thing. What?
Or in the sake of fake choice, you could leave them both in, and that way the player could pick one.
Sure.
Yeah, there's no reason why the amount of energy that you had is limited so that you can't have the option to have everything. But it is.
It's tied to your equipment, which is, again, just kind of random nonsense that you find.
Yeah, or in my case, like, I would beat a stage, and then I would go and check the Moogle, and they would have better shit than whatever I got in that fucking world. Cool. I guess I can spend the money here, because I ain't doing shit else with it.
Yeah, I did find it funny that buying stuff was often the best way to acquire gear, which is almost never the case.
Yeah, like, most of the levels are fairly linear. Like, there are some side paths that you can go around on, and like the pirate world, you've got the thing that you can explore, but it tells you right where you need to go, so all the exploration's up to you. Mostly it's fucking hallway simulator with, here's an extra doorway you can go through, there's a chest in there, a surprise. And the toy store is circular, and I had a hard time finding my way through it, but only because I wasn't listening to directions. When they're like, hey, go to that dollhouse that's shaking, and I'm like, I'm gonna go back through the vent and go down to the front door. And then I didn't know what I was supposed to do. That's on me, admittedly. So, like, you generally find a bunch of shit, even when you're not trying. Oh shit. What about the fucking selfie time with the Mickey heads?
Fuck, that's a thing. Yeah, there are lucky marks, and the people of Twilight Town, the three amigos, explained to you that these lucky marks are scattered throughout their Twilight Town.
Lucky emblems?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you take pictures of them, it grants you bonuses. It'll give you items. What? So there's Mickey heads just all over. And they'll often Goofy and Donald will yell at you if you're near one. Or like some weird thing happens.
Yeah, or Sora will mention it, yeah.
And then you click the middle of your thing and PS4 controller.
You hit the map button because
it pulls up a camera and you can take a picture of it. And if you take a picture good enough, you get a thing. To get the Ultima weapon, I'm pretty sure you need all of them.
Yeah.
All 99.
Oh, I think you only need 90.
Okay, cool.
I mean, like, don't at me, I don't care, but like, yeah, pretty much all of them.
There's other stuff too like that. I mean, There's constellations when you're flying around that you can take pictures of to theoretically do a thing. I couldn't get it to work.
I did 2 of them, I think.
I tried to do one of them when he said, hey, there's a constellation near here, and the stars were lit up, and I got out my camera, and it literally just wouldn't capture.
I had that with the lucky emblems. Like, I had to be, it wasn't just like a certain distance, it was also like centered, and there's a few of them that I could just never get.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what I did.
It's weirdly sensitive, and it's just odd.
Well, that's, speaking of weird fucking issues, I tried using the hammer, and I asked you why the ultimate was also a gun, like the one that you got before, and you looked at me like I'm the biggest idiot on the planet.
Because he's the biggest idiot on the planet.
Sure, but like, my game was actually fucked up. Whenever I'd go to use that super, I would get the super of another Keyblade. So, like, I legitimately thought you were just fucking with me and being a dick as you're one to do until I looked it up, and I was like, well, because then you made me fucking question. I'm like, well, no, like, I'm not just fucking stupid. Like, I remember this correctly, and then I fucking get home that day and I'm playing. I'm like, yeah, no, this is fucking right. Fuck Jason, that piece of shit. But it was like weird shit like that. Nothing game breaking. And really, besides the pictures, which I almost never took, and like a couple times it didn't work, is whatever. And that specific instance where I couldn't get my super to go off, but then I swapped all the Keyblades around in my inventory, the ones that I had equipped, and then it started working. which is weird. Like, I don't hold that against the game. Shit happens, right? What else we got?
God, I'm not even trying to remember all the systems, because here's the thing. I know I'm missing a ton of stuff right now.
Right.
Because of how long we have played through this stupid game.
And we've also been talking for like 5 hours now.
Yeah, because that's this game. And like, I cannot even begin to think of like all the weird stuff and just every system that I did or didn't use. Oh, the whole gummy phone.
Oh, the fucking gummy phone. You get games on the gummy phone.
You get games for. That fucking terrible mini games. You come across a chest and you're like, sweet, a chest, and you knock it open and it's like, you opened classic this for your gummy phone. And you're like, fuck it, I'd rather die.
Great. Thanks for wasting everyone's time here.
Yep. They're terrible. They're actual games that you would play on like a flip phone. They're horrendous.
No, they're not. No, because flip phone graphics are better than that. I had a flip phone. I'd fucking play Snake on it. No, these are the fucking set screen Game & Watch. You could only move your fucking sprite bleep, bleep, bleep. One over, there's zero animation to it.
Yeah.
In digital form, on a PS4. What the actual fuck is that? With like the same shit sounds screeching at you.
Because they want to insult you to your face.
Clearly.
But the gummy phone has the games. It has like 9 different things in it. I don't think I clicked on a single one. It's got Jiminy's journal, and I'm like, what? You can call other people at random times. Like, outside of the times where you actually get calls, I'm pretty sure you can call people.
The only time I whipped out the gummy phone was to try a game. Saw what that was about, and then never again.
Noped the fuck out like you should.
Yeah.
What is this? Why is any of this? Good God. So that, like, there's this whole section of nonsense that, like, is not even half-baked. It's barely conceptualized and just shoveled in there. Whole menus, unused, because why would you? And then, yeah, the game's no challenge at all. So, what is this? What is this, Jake?
It's a long, funny waste of everyone's time that took, 13 years longer than everybody wanted it to?
Yeah.
And this is what they got.
This is what came out of it. And it's funny. It's not even like they didn't make anything in those 13 years, because they did.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we could double check, but I don't care.
We've played games in that time that Square Enix has made.
5 or 6, not even Square Enix, Kingdom Hearts games.
Oh, yeah, no. Okay, just Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, they shit out a lot of them since then.
Yeah, and sure, some of them are weird, like, browser games or mobile games. But it's funny because some of those have way more relevance to this plot than I think either of the first 2 original games. Because at some point, someone was like, shit, we need to talk about time-traveling ghosts.
It's fucking madness. Like, I wonder whose fever dream this was. Like, surely it was a team. Like, they say 1,000 monkeys with typewriters will eventually write Shakespeare. No, I think 1,000 monkeys in a room with typewriters wrote Kingdom Hearts, because that makes more sense. Because they had somebody just take a bunch of LSD and just start speaking. And then somebody else wrote all that shit down and then did their goddamn bestest to try and tie it all together. And here you are, because it is convoluted. It circles back around on itself. It doesn't make sense. There's a bunch of shit that doesn't go anywhere. What the fuck is happening? And like, that isn't just from the outside, because I've heard Kingdom Hearts fans complain about the story of Kingdom Hearts. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, I don't know. I know people who genuinely loved 1 and 2. I didn't like 1 at all, which is why I knew we were going to play this game, because I knew I was going to hate it, because I don't really enjoy this combat system at all. It didn't overstay its welcome. I don't like it. So, great. And then, yeah, when all these people who I know who like Kingdom Hearts are like, 3's not that good. It's weird. And I'm like, great, guess we're playing that.
Yeah.
And then here we are, complaining about it, because it deserves to be complained about, because it's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
And that's it. I'm done talking about this game, because that's where I'm at. You want to know what this game is? You just got, I don't know, forever about it.
Yeah.
Forever and a day. It's a nightmare. Don't play it.
Yeah, no, that's it. And I genuinely feel bad for fans of the series, because after all that time and all that waiting they did, this is what they got. And even if you like it, after all that time waiting, that's the ending you got.
A cliffhanger.
They pissed right in your mouth, and you said thank you for it.
It's,
fans of this series, what the shit?
It's so dumb. It's fucking Duke Nukem Forever. It's take forever to make a goddamn game, and then just garbage. Shovel garbage.
Oh, man.
13 years. This is what you come up with? Bruh. Bruh.
All right, Jason.
Letters from listeners like you. Fuck it. I'm gonna
Damn, all right, we're still doing them. Fuck yeah, let's go. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, concerns, you can write those into the badgamecast@gmail.com.
Yeah, we're going to hit one just because we have a couple right now. We could always use more, but we're going to keep it together. At this point, I've basically consigned myself to this being 2 episodes.
Like I said, we'd been recording for like 5 hours. That's not far off at this point.
It's not an actual joke. It's forever. So this question is mostly for Jason.
Hey.
Also because it's topical, kind of. It's football season.
Oh, yeah, that ain't me.
And this is the Bad Game Cast. So what's the worst game of sports ball you've watched? And this question comes, why do you never say who these are from, Jason? Are you ashamed of me, Jason? So to answer the second part of that question, yes.
Yes.
Absolutely, 100%. To answer the actual question... Which, if you didn't, expect that to be the answer, I don't know who you think you're talking to.
Also, thanks for purposefully excluding me from the question.
I know, right?
Dick move. Remember that when I'm editing.
The question for worst game of sports ball is an interesting one. If I was to generalize sports ball, it's whenever I've watched baseball. Baseball is boring as sin, and I hate it.
You know, it's funny, because, I like baseball.
I know.
I get it.
I can't watch baseball. If I sit down and there's a TV and it's baseball on, I immediately just need something else to do. It's so gruelingly slow. Since it's football season, if you want the worst game of football I've ever watched, in terms of enjoyment of watching, it have to be a game where OSU was just getting blown out. Probably sometime. It's hard to say. The national championship game against Florida was pretty bad because we scored early on the first play of the game and then we just got wrecked. And so that was really unfun. If you want to say worst actual football being played, that was Moon. Michigan 0-0 Northwestern. It is a game that ended 0-0.
That fuck.
Going into overtime.
Holy shit.
Moon was an absolute disaster of a game. Every drive was just a punt. No one got close to scoring. The field was a disaster. It was pouring rain. It was garbage football.
That sounds amazing.
It was funny to watch because people would get tackled and they would slide 10 yards because of the amount of water on the field.
Hell yeah.
So it was kind of funny to watch, but man, was it terrible. So yeah, something like that. That's the only question you get this time because boy, oh boy. So then plugs are just, we're going to rapid fire through this. The email, thebadgamecast@gmail.com. Again, questions, comments, concerns. If you've got suggestions, you can always drop them there. You can also drop suggestions, throw them straight to Twitter, tweet @thebadgamecast. That'll come to me. I run the official account. Jake, @JakePray. That's his account. If you want to see, our Facebook is somewhat updated. Currently, at this moment, it is. I try to keep it a bit more updated now, which I said at some point earlier this year and then stopped updating it for 3 months. So, you take what you can get. Reddit is r/thebadgamecast. Every episode goes up there. Jake uses the official account, /thebadgamecast, to insult people about Sonic and Fallout, I think. I think that's basically all he does.
That's pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, but, they kind of deserve it. Just like fans of anything Square Enix touches, because Square Enix is probably the worst. Real talk, we could probably just have an episode about how much I hate Square Enix.
Yeah.
Twitch, we are on Twitch every Monday through Thursday, usually, with the holidays. Well, this will be in December, so there's still more holidays to come. We'll see what the plans are. You probably won't see me, 'cause reasons.
Yeah, so, just assume that Tuesday and Wednesday of Christmas and New Year's, no, not gonna be
probably
streaming.
not happen. But, so that's, usually we're on. There'll probably be some special not streaming during the holidays, because it's the holidays. But we just, as of recording, we just hit affiliate, so
Hey.
you can throw just Jeff Bezos' dollars at us. If you got that Amazon Prime, you can just Twitch Prime us right in the face. And if you're looking for any other way to support us, you can hit the Patreon. We recorded a few episodes of something, which I still haven't edited at all. I still need to put those. I could put them up unedited, but that's probably going to be a nightmare. It's mostly just me ranting. There's some other stuff that we've talked about doing that we'll probably do early next year. namely Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
because I want to.
That's what I figured.
I want to talk about it, but I want to play Iceborne, and they hate PC players. So I think that's everything. That's all our places that we are. You can find us lots of places. We try to interact socially mostly. If you like us, support us. If you don't like us, I don't know how you made it this far, but thanks. I guess.
Just the same. Tell your friends, tell your family. Bad Gamecast. Well, for the Bad Gamecast, I've been Jake.
I'm not even sure what I am anymore.
Outro noises. God damn, this was a long one.